Right, I think I'm live. I think. Well, while we're deciding, let's see if anyone just turns up. Hey, Dipsy. Hello, mate. How you doing? Have I got sound? Anyone hear me? Right. Colin Wiltshire. Hiya, mate. How you doing? As you all know, I ain't live streamed for a while. I've been a bit off my game, if I'm honest. Mr. Albast. How you doing, mate? I think I'll have to change the name of my Zello channel. Okay, anyone who's just joined, jump on the chat box, say hello. And I want to share with you a conversation I had today with some, actually no, it was yesterday. Okay, well, how many people we got in here at the minute? 16 at the moment and 3 likes. To them 3 people that gave likes, thank you very much, really appreciate it. Simon Boyle, hello mate, how you doing? Darren Barwick, Eddie's mum, Colin Gumtrip, Darren Howell, Anas Patel. Hiya, well it's good to see you all in here anyway. Now, I had a conversation yesterday on the phone about, or with someone that wanted a CB just for like a prepping type thing. Swady boy, hiya mate, how you doing? Yeah, just in case, I don't know, there was some sort of, I don't know, disaster or whatever. He just wanted to know what to do. It's a job to tell someone, really. I basically said, you know, get a CB, get an aerial, get up on a hill, you know, but, and he was asking all sorts of questions about what type of CB is the best, what aerial's the best, and something I've failed to mention, and next time I'll give him a ring, I will mention this. It's not really about what you got. Obviously that is a massive part, but if you're sort of like using it in an emergency situation, you know, like it hits the fan situation, really you want to get known by the locals, because then you become part of the local group, which will then tend to sort of, if you're the one that needs help, they'll take you under their wing, whereas if they've never heard of you, you know, things would be a little bit different. So what's your views on it, people? Have we got any preppers in the house today? Rob Bunyan, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, Rob. As if, hiya mate. Albast says, get out there, get shouting. Yeah, okay, Dipsy. So, Simon, what advice would you give to this guy? because next time I talk to him, I'm going to say get involved in a local CB radio community. But like a lot of people, like some people, they might join, or they might be in like an off-roading club, you know, 4x4s that do off-roading and all that. And I won't say all of them, but a lot of them seem totally blinkered to the fact that they're not the only ones on CB. There's other people out there, and it's not really a thing. It's not private. So although you might be in car 1, you might have car 2, car 3, car 4 and car 5. You might all know each other. You might be on the same course. There's other people out there that may well want to join in. Gary Seed. Annis said, not a prepper as such, but can power is 9900 for hours using a Life PO4 battery and solar panel. Yeah, that's good. Darren, and just use something nice and thick, mate, really, wire. I've had people say to me, what's the best wire for making a wire antenna? Whatever you've got to hand. And what I used to do when I was using the amateur band, like most people, I've always been not mega technical, but I like messing about with engines and lawnmowers and generators and CB radio, amateur radio, that sort of thing. I happen to have a couple of old extension leads in the shed. So what I did, I just stripped the outer sleeve off, so I had like the blue, the brown and the earth wire, soldered them all together, just measured out how long it was, you know, anything that I had laying to hand, and I never felt that my wire antenna weren't as good as anyone else's, because they'd used some of that, what's it called, Ultra Flex or whatever, worked just as well. Simon Boyle, just got to be friendly. Yeah, exactly. You know, the amount of 4x4s that I've seen over the years, particularly in recent years, when I've had the aerial on the top, they just seem blinkered. You know, us CBers spot them a mile off. Oh, there's an aerial on that car. You might say eyeball, or, you know, if you've got your ears on in that Range Rover or Land Rover, you never ever get a response. Dirty Katie, that's Jason, I believe. Hi from boring old Lowestoft. I'm sure it ain't that boring, mate. Well, you're near the sea, so you know. Chris Jasper Guard says the military taught him always have a bug out bag, radio, smokes, provisions and a bottle of single malt. Yeah, why not? Thing is, with the prepping scene, I've noticed that a lot of preppers, when this virus was really rife, which was not so long ago, you got hundreds and hundreds of people dying per day. It's something that, you know, you can't really prep for. I do know a prepper who's, you know, quite heavily into it all, and he said, thing is, there's nowhere you can go. You know, with this virus, I mean, it's just one. I mean, you know, as the years go on, there might be more. It's not like you think, right, bug out bag, that's it, I'm off, because it was right away around the globe. It's an hard one, isn't it? Richard Milligan, greetings from Anglesey in Welsh, Wales. Hi Richard, welcome aboard, mate. What if anyone has come in that's not a regular, just tell us what kit you use, what's on your wish list. If you won the lottery, what would you be buying? Base jump. Hiya mate. I believe that you changed your name recently to Parachute Man. I thought that you called yourself. Base jump, just give us your name and next time I'll see if I can't remember you by that. Anyway, I'll just go back to the other camera. It's nothing happening tonight, though I have put a bit of grub out for the old fox. There you go. There's actually 2 bowls out for the fox tonight. The one nearest the front door, that's just got a bit of pasta and leftover dinner in it. And Swady Boys just pointed out that prices of second hand kit has shot right up. Yes it has. I mean, we've all seen, you know, rigs like the Cobra 148 GTLDX selling for like 300-400 quid. I saw one of the big Cobra home bases the other day. Alright, it was boxed 600 quid. But because they've got that price on, don't mean that's what they're worth. That's what people are trying to get for them, of course. Okay, Mark, that's in base jump. I will try and remember that. Next live stream I do, mate, when you come along, say hi, it's Mark, or something like that. So how are we doing for people in here? We've got 34 at the moment. Any tips on what to say to this guy on the phone? Because I'll happily give him a rig. He's not in my area. Hi Dennis. Good evening to you as well. Swady Boy says getting a bit professional with these cameras. BBC, watch out. No, not at all. It's something that I've had the facility to do for ages, Swady Boy, but just not known how to do it, and I think I've cracked it now. I'm a bit out of touch, to be honest. It's been a bit of a flap as per usual to get myself live on air. Keith Senior says he loves his radio. Albast, yeah, that's a good bit of advice. Give him frequencies to shout out and listen on. I think with anyone, I mean, I'm sure we've all seen these prepper videos, you know, CB radio, or they might have a little bow thing or whatever. They're up on a hill and they've, you know, got their kit, they're all in camouflage and all the rest of it. But I do think sometimes they're lacking some of the information really that you do need, because if there was some sort of, I don't know, local emergency, global emergency, whatever, and I could hear 3 people calling, if I knew one of them, I would go back to that person. Paul Richards, evening mate, how you doing? Oh, Colin Guntrip's asking Alan Albast how he's doing after his jab. Loads of people are having the jab. I've not had mine yet. 2 family members have had the jab this week. Both of them had the Astra, whatever it was. One of them had a headache and some chills the next day, but apart from that, all good. Dave L, evening mate. Richard McCartney. Yeah, it's all going well. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, Richie. Yeah, welcome. And as I've already said, you know, if you're new to the stream, you're not joined one of these streams before. You know, if you're called, I don't know, parachute man, base jumper, or you know, Captain Scarlet, jump in the chat section. Just tell us a bit about you and your name. Make one up, you know, if you don't like giving your real name. Hampshire Hog, hi mate. The British Blank, you want to read that, fellas? I take it his missus is not in the room at the time, or I'm not near him while he's just said that. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on tonight, lads, but I thought I'd better show my face. I actually had a message on my phone this morning from Colin, and he said, don't forget, it's Sunday, and he reckons he's going to send me something. I just got to clear up with my mate. That's alright for Colin to post the item, and I've got no idea what it is. Dennis Watson, your son's had the jab. You're 58. Yeah, you're a year behind me. I'm 59. Okay, I'm sure we will all be offered the jab in the end. Your text is very slow tonight, and I gather that Dipsy's been out on the road. Dipsy, are you actually driving that Arctic, or are you like a driver's mate, or what? Because if Dipsy's got a class 1, he's skippered a trawler, it's an HGV driver. I mean, next thing he'll be on the International Space Station, I should think. He gets around a bit, old Dipsy. Yeah, driving. Yeah, good for you, Dipsy. Biggest I ever drove on the road, Dipsy, was a 7.5 tonne, and that was big enough for me. My eyes were never really good enough for the big stuff, and I don't like anything that bends in the middle. In other words, articulated vehicles. Darren Howell's just got his chicken out. Bob's in the house. Hiya Bob, how you doing, mate? Oh, Bob's just given me permission to start. Well, really, I'm just an innocent bystander in most of these streams. Everyone, you know, I might be trying to talk about one thing. Mate, he's just got his chicken out. What can I say? Colin Guntrip's got a 9-foot tank whip. Stefan, welcome aboard, mate. So I did tell you I'd be back on soon, didn't I, Steph? Colin Wilshire, was that you that messaged me this morning? I can't remember. I've blinked a couple of times since then, mate. base jump here. I'm trying to remember your name. I think it was Gary, wasn't it? Dennis Watson. It's just a little bit of rain, mate. The infrared, the light reflects back from the water droplets. It does look like it's snowing, but it's not. Yeah, good for you, Dipsy. Mark, okay, base jump. Keep banging that name my way, mate. I will get it, Mark. Kev63. Hi, mate, how you doing? Okay, I think we've got one person in there that's got a new bit of kit today, and that was the 9-foot quarter wave. Anyone else got anything? Kenny Lemley, the highwayman from USA. Yeah, welcome aboard, Kenneth. Steve Ellis. Hi, Steve. How you doing, mate? Ain't seen you in here in a little while. I missed a couple of streams. Let me see if I can't get this chat up a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's a little bit better. At least it's more in front of me now. Colin Guntrip saying that the blue display on the 6900 is too bright. Oh, I agree. I used to have my 6900 up on the dash. That was a bit chunky for the dashboard. Another night, that blue is very dazzling. To the point where what I used to do, I think that was who was it that asked that? Colin. I got one of these anti-slip things. It's like webbing that's sort of sticky. What I used to do is stick that over the top of the rig with some of it draped over the display. Ben Speed from Welsh, Wales, if I remember. Hi Ben, how you doing, mate? There's a lot of talk about camper vans. I'd love one. When I was working and things were going okay, I did have a few bob saved up. I was hoping to get something like, I don't know, an old Renault Master or something. Kit it out inside as like a semi sort of camper, you know, somewhere to sleep. The table and that. Not go the whole hog. Just go up the hills, you know, spend all night up there. According to this, we've got 42 people in here. Thanks for joining, everyone. If you've not already jumped in the chat box, you know, come and say hello, introduce yourself, tell us what you've got. If you've got a CB radio issue of some sort, you know, I'm sure between me and the other lads we should better sort you out. Simon said he would like a good frequency counter. What rig are you actually using, Simon? Ben's got a Vivaro. Okay, Simon, the TriStar 777. That's an old bit of kit, my old mate. I've had a few of them in my day. The British Blink has just come up with a good one regarding the bright 6900 display. You can get different filters from craft shops and just put them over. It's a cracking idea, that is. Simon Boyle says he's been in the drawer for the last 15 years. Well done for dragging it out, mate. Yeah, I'm just checking out the battery in the camera that's pointing at the front door. I had to give it a charge up for an hour. It might last. It might not. If it goes off, it goes off. Yeah, Simon. Yeah, it's good. It's good to know that you're back, mate. I found. I mean, obviously, I started in 1981, but I've had some gaps, like most people, away from rig. But whenever I sort of sold everything, you know, if I got skint or bored of it, I'd always make sure I kept a rig. And one time I must have been skint, I sold everything, the whole lot, apart from an old few PL259s. Never again. The British Blink, is that the iGame 5 you're after, mate? There is a local guy got one. I don't know whether he's selling it or not. Simon said something about a Craco. I've got something here that might interest you, Simon. This is not for Simon. This is Alexian. I'm just showing it to the camera because Alan said he might be interested in sort of buying it or doing some sort of deal. There it is. Now, if you look at the back of it, side of it, that's where you charge it up, or you can power it from 13.8. And on the back, I don't know how clearly you're going to see that, there's a hole there. There's actually a little fan inside that keeps, I presume, the battery and the rig cool. It's like a porta pack for VHF, UHF. Now the guy with the Craco, I bet this pamphlet's not got a picture in it. Yes, it has. Look, something like that. I don't know, because the live view that you get is not the live view that I get, fellas. It says Craco CB, and it's got a gas mark 9 dial on it. If you look here, that's actually the owner's manual for a Craco rig. Yeah, I don't think this Craco has got the wood finish. Am I saying that? It's a black and white picture. Well, I had a straight 40, and that was a Bristol. That was my first ever rig. Now this one's not got the wood effect on it, but a lot of the rigs did. The little General Electric home bases had the wood effect on it. Right, Tim the Hampshire Hog says, what do you reckon for Dave L? I've obviously missed his issue there. Let me just scroll up. Right, Dave L saying his mic's rubbish. In what way is it rubbish, Dave? It might not even be the mic. The British Blink's got a GP27 or GPE. Okay, mate, nice one. Yeah, the guy that's saying it's a job to know, isn't it? Without hearing it ourselves. I mean, you could try, another mic. If it's on sideband, maybe people ain't got you clarified in properly. Maybe they're used to hearing HF kit, and you're just on a CB, like most of the rest of us. I found some people will destroy you if you believe everything they say. Has anyone else experienced that? I've had people come in on the side of nets and they're very slightly off frequency, and the person that brings them in goes, "Oh, you're way off. Can't clarify you in," and they're sat there thinking, well, I remember one guy had a brand new rig, and I believe it was the 8900. He was mortified. People go, "No, you're way off, mate," and I was trying to say to him, it ain't like a big deal. If people would just touch their clarifier, they'd get you in perfectly. So it's very, people can be a bit twitchy over what's good and what's bad. Okay, Dave, just reading what you've said. I think it was Anna said about turning up your mic gain. And Darren Barwick says there's always a doom and gloomy. Yes, there is. Now, my friend Paul came in on the side of a group of lads one night, and I happened to be one of them. And he was told by an individual, "I can't clarify you in, you're that far out, you know." But I'd already reached for my clarifier and just touched it a bit. Paul was there, so Jimmy Hampshire Hog says about taking out the sponge filter. I've never heard of that one. Not on a 9900 type mic. I don't think Fred's ever had a 7900, not to my knowledge. He might have done. He's got loads of other much better rigs, you know. Oh, Colin Wiltshire, yeah, says that was for the 6900. Well, let me just share this with Anna and the rest of you. Most of you probably already know this. When I used to be mobile on the 305 net, if you like, which was predominantly what most of you will remember me from being mobile up and down the M1. When I used my 9900, I did try the capo, but it didn't do a lot for me, because some people would say it was a bit distorted, other people would say it'd pick up too much traffic noise, you know. Like, it did work, obviously. What I ended up doing with a stock mic, I turned the mic gain up 100%, and all I would do, I'd hold the mic on my knee, and when I was speaking, you know, it still drove the radio all right. Yes, I presume Steve Ellis is talking to me. Yeah, I just used to use the stock mic. I did try. I think I tried the Road Devil on it, the Aesthetic. The capo on it. I'm not sure if I might have tried another mic on it. Can't remember, but I always ended up going back to the stock mic. Yeah, I remember talking to you, Steve. I remember when you got your the little Yaesu, can't remember what it was. The one that you bought from the radio sale place. FT100, that's it, Steve. Thanks for putting me out of my misery. Yeah, I remember when you had that. And the 2016, yeah, I could hear you for miles, mate. Steve Ellis over there in Spain. Are you actually on the rig over there at the minute, or have you sort of not bothered at all, mate? Eddie's mum. Send us a text, will you, regarding that picture that you sent me. I won't say what it said on the thing, but I was a bit confused as to exactly what that was. Yes, Steve, I believe it was, mate. Yeah, Steve Ellis here. Used to boom out on the 305 net, most definitely. A lot of people are using them, can't even remember the proper word for them, like an equaliser for their audio, a sound interface. I don't know I think it's 390 that you said. I know there's a few, weren't there? One of them was it the Cult Black Shadow? Alan Albars said a little while ago that most people that use a 6900 use a power mic, which is, you know, spot on. Now, I have spoken to people that have not long bought the 6900. When I went to Norfolk, I think it was the last time, got talking to a truck driver, and I just happened to say to him, you sound alright, but if you can, ditch that mic, keep it as a spare, and get yourself, you know, a capo, or even just like one of the older coffin style mics, because they do actually sound better on it. But he seemed a bit miffed. Well, you're the only person that's ever said that. I thought, alright then, crack on, mate. Yeah, Steve, you want to maybe snap a few up, mate, if they're at a reasonable price. Yeah, British Blink, the BM 700. I think that's just a cheap and cheerful one, isn't it? I don't know if you guys remember, I did it, for a while on my live stream, I had one of these, is it a Behringer dynamic mic, and I think I quoted it as costing only about 30 quid. Well, when I look back through my Amazon account, it was only actually 13 quid. That's a good mic, but it needs a lot of drive on it, you know. It's yeah, Dipsy, are you within the UK at the moment, or are you actually abroad on a night out in that truck, mate? I can see that people are coming and going, but if you've just arrived here, you know, why not come and say hello to the lads? Jump on the chat box, just say where you are, what rig you've got. It don't matter if you haven't even got the rig. You know, was you on the rig years ago? Are you thinking of coming back on? Dipsy's in Holland, alright, mate. So how does that affect you, Dipsy, if you come back to the UK? Yeah, Stefan's saying it's a good idea to run your mic through a mixer. I've never done that on CB. I'll be honest, I like to keep things simple, like the mic, the rig, any other bits of kit like I've got, like an amplifier, and then straight off to the aerial. I don't even have switcher boxes, but I know they do work. But there's a local guy here, and to be fair, he sounds great, but sometimes he would have knocked something or turned something, and he's got this horrible hum and feedback, and just I couldn't be doing with it. But when it's working well, to be fair to him, it does sound good. Yeah, okay, Dipsy. Steve Ellis. Who's that, John? No, I never said it was John. We got, is that Leonard? 9900 in London. Richard McCartney's thinking of getting a 148 Mark II. Goes from low. I presume to high. It's got the 40, the CB 2781E prom in it. 10kc shift. What do you think? I think they're a cracking rig. I've had a few 148s over the years with that very same mod. Actually, that's a lie. The one that I bought new, I ended up getting modded, and it went low. The guy that did the mod didn't put the highs in because he was an amateur. You know, he was a bit funny. Oh, you can go up into 28 megs. This was years and years ago. So it went from low up to high, and then the next click was the 40 Muppet channels, and my 10kc jump didn't take me up 10kcs, it took me down 10kcs. It was no big deal, but what it did mean that when I went to channel 1 low, if I flicked the switch, it put me on channel 40 triple low, and that was a bit of a thing back then. Yeah, Stefan, it's you know, nothing wrong with that at all, mate. Pardon me. As long as all your kit is working right, you know, your rig's okay, you're giving it plenty of amps that it needs, you know, you've got a decent SWR, get that RF straight out to the aerial. I mean, I've heard of people with switcher boxes, you know, where they can flick it, you know, go outside to the outbuilding, flick this switch and flick that. There's bloody coax all over the place. British Blink. It's got a Shogun with a Delta Echo Master and a stereo antenna. Yeah, what stereo antenna is it? Stereo, I mean, it could be a 4-element Yagi, could be an ML145, a 2016, you know. It's a bit like me saying I just bought myself a brand new Vauxhall and everyone going, whoa, but I'm failing to mention what one it was. And the British Blink, I'm sure you know what I mean, mate. Oh yeah, okay, mate. It's my brain. It's not functioning the way that it used to by a long way. Yeah, the GP27. Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Is it half wave or 5/8 wave? And this is going back to Richard McCartney, 148 GTL DX, Mark 1 or Mark 2. I think they're an amazing bit of kit. Glenn, 26 Tango Echo 868, I think it was. Says hi Steve. Hi Glenn, how you doing, mate? Okay, Blink 585. Yeah, good choice, mate. If it works, you know. Now, is your Shogun got the mids on it as well, or is it just a straight 40 rig, mate? I'm just looking back, I've just seen Steve Ellis's comment. Ha ha ha. Dave L says he likes the serial performer with the coil that lights up. Is there something wrong with you? Ah, if that's what you fancy and that's what you got. But I will say, aerials with RF lights were something that was out 30 odd years ago, mate. I remember sitting up the Downs looking out the window, and I could see the tip of this aerial lighting up, and I thought, what the hell's going on there? And I sort of picked up the old mic. Oh yeah, it's my I think he called it his RF light. British blink. So your Shogun's got all that on it. Oh, I was thinking when you said the Shogun Emperor, I was just thinking of like the old straight 40. Oh, that sounds a good bit of kit. Wally lights, Suede boy, thank you. That's a word that they were called, Wally lights. I must confess, I never had them. I had most of the other kit out there at the time. Yeah, it just never happened for me. The British blink says, I don't remember the fire stick that the whole thing lit up. My first aerial, in actual fact, was I think it was a 5-foot fire stick, but it wasn't one that lit up. That was on a DV-27 ground plane. I mean, years ago there was all these gimmicky things. The Swady boy refers to them. There was the Wally lights, weren't there? There was the reverbs. Bloody horrible things. If you tap the box, it used to go ding. Echo mics. Bloody hated the things. Low, obviously, like most people. I have had a few in me time. When it all kicked off, CB, you know, you had the lads with the air horns as well, and all that, and then you'd have the other ones driving along with a PA speaker in the front grille, you know, and all that crap. You don't tend to hear that now, do you? Yeah, and the Roger Bleeps. My old mate, he's dead now. He used to love echoes. When you went in his room where he had his CB, he used to have an echo. Steve Ellis will know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Liam from Bedford. When he spoke, he had talk back on, really loud. So it must have driven his mum and dad mental. But when he used to talk, he used to listen to himself. You know, it was like on some sort of stereo system. And Roger Bleeps, he loved them. He got this box that had like a K-tone and I-gain 5 and all other sorts of stuff on it. Yeah, Glenn says he started off with a DV-27 on a biscuit tin. Yeah, that's... loads of people used them, didn't they, the old DV-27? Yeah, Steve Ellis remembers Liam. Yeah, Liam was a funny lad, especially if he'd had a few sherbets. Albar says he programmed the Close Encounters tune into his Anytone as a Roger Bleep, but he says don't use it though. I didn't even know you could do that, Alan. I don't think I've ever turned the bleep on in my rig. Yeah, this lad that me and Steve are just sort of remembering. Oh, some of the capers he used to get up. Now, did any of you guys back in the day play games over CB? We used to play battleships. That used to be a laugh. I used to play with my mate Lawrence and his missus Geraldine, and we'd be saying we'd both have the same sheet, you know, with it would say right A1, and they'd go miss. Now I remember one night I was after his 5 position battleship or whatever it was, and I'd gone all the way through, and I thought there's no way that I've not hit this thing because there's no gaps big enough for it. And he said, nah, that's a miss. And I said, come on mate. And what it was, he's smoking the old herbs when he's off his nut. Stefan's talking about Echo Dave. Who's that then, Stefan? Paul Metalhead 503's in the house. Oh, you Paul, you made it, mate. Simon Boyle says he always wanted to go on a fox hunt. I never went on one, but I used to like listening to them. I used to think they had good fun. The old fox ain't showed itself. As you can see, I did drag the bowl away from the grass a little bit because we've still got the wind chime up there. Oh, Elstree Dave. That's the guy that I spoke to. I think I spoke to you, didn't I, Stefan, that day? And yeah, Elstree Dave. Yeah, I've only spoke with him once, but I do remember him. Glenn said we should do a fox hunt or convoy when lockdown's over. I'll be so glad when this lot's done. Anyone else had their jab this week or due for it? I know some of us are old gits on here. Dave L used to dream of a Princess Magmount on Dad's Allegro. God, I remember them, the old Allegros. I've got to remember now. There was the Allegro, wasn't there? There was the Maxi, and the big one was the Princess. Okay, Glenn, I'm 59. I haven't had my invite yet, but I've got to sort that out. It's no one else's fault, maybe my own. Oh, Swady boy, I've had yours. Good man. Right, lads. Well, I've been on an hour. I do need a cup of tea. But what I might do is go down and make one, leave you guys chat for a while, and I'll be up in a couple of minutes. Are you lot alright with that? Either that or I can just end the stream, you know, I don't know. I can leave you with a fox cam, can't I? Okay, mate, so what I'll do, I'll just leave you with a fox cam for now, and I'll cover this other cam up, alright? So I'll see you in a couple of minutes, lads. Be right back. Right, as you can see, I'm back. Two foxes and I missed it. Gutted, mate. Sat him absolutely baking. Now, come on, I want to know if there was two foxes or not. I know I ran out and give it a quick wave at the camera. Yes, definitely. Right-handed cup. Well, do you know what? Oh, here it is. Oh, Swady Boy was joking. That's fair enough. I think that camera's about to die, if I'm honest. Well, I think really we've covered everything, haven't we? I'm sort of back. I've not been around for a while, as most of you know, but Alan Albar saying he ain't sure how far we can travel now. I ain't got a clue. There's so many of these updates. One minute you can't meet someone, next minute you can drink a coffee, but only if you're in the middle of a park on a bench. Yeah, Dipsy says I was missed. I was expecting to come back and finding a few hundred people in here. But no, numbers have gone down. There's 30 people on here at the minute, according to that. And 31 likes, so yeah. Now, guys, I am going to go in a minute, right? I've got my cuppa and whatnot. Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? I think everyone's just sort of almost shut off to it now. They should update at least a couple of times a week, you know, what you can do and what you can't do. And, you know, I mean, I've heard people go in and out of each other's houses like it's all over. Well, obviously, that's all well and good until one of you tests positive, and then it's like, oh my God. I don't know. I think people, I don't know, just had enough of it all. Yeah, Bob, it's right. There is too many mixed messages about COVID. You know, it started. I mean, that what's his name? That doctor on was it this morning? He said, "No, don't wear a mask. If I see anyone wearing a mask, I'm going to go and have a go at them." And the next minute, you got to wear one by law. You know, if that weren't a total, complete end of the scale. Yeah, Annis, thanks for dropping in by, mate. Really appreciate it. And everyone else. Now, before I go, I'm going to ask you guys a favour, right? I'm sort of keeping an eye on my channel, and to be fair, it ain't really doing too good. Especially with the live streams. One of my last live streams, I think I had 2 comments on it, and apparently comments help with enabling people to find the video. So if you could all leave a comment, even if it was, I don't know, Steve, you're ugly or whatever, underneath the video once I end the stream, I'd appreciate that, just as a bit of an experiment to see how this live stream does. So I don't expect many people would want to watch it, because it's over an hour and 15 minutes now. Yeah, Dipsy, I think you're right, mate. Dave L's proper posh. Colin Wiltshire says it's I don't know, it's a job, isn't it? Yeah, Alan Albast, mate, it's about time you went live. In actual fact, I think what we should do a tandem live stream. I think Alan should go live at, I don't know, 6 o'clock for an hour, and then at 7 o'clock I'll come on. So who's that bloke that's always bloody moaning? Yeah, Bob, it don't... Okay, mate, yeah, all copied. Metalhead 73's pulled. Steve, this is Steve Ellis. I can invite people on. I'm using OBS. I can actually invite people into a stream here. In actual fact, me and Alan Albast had a little play about with it, but I couldn't quite get it right, if I'm honest. So this is to Steve, and I don't know, if I press this button here, you'll actually see that I'm not using YouTube just for me live streams, because I've set up just a couple of scenes, and somewhere I've got 2 boxes. One will be for me, one will be for a guest, but I've been, let's just say I've been a bit sidetracked lately. Oh, here comes the old cat. I've never used StreamYard, Steve. Maybe you can do a tutorial on it, mate. Show us what it's all about. I've seen a guy mention it. He goes through OBS, StreamYard and 2 or 3 others. Yeah, okay, Steve. Well, I'll be honest, it took me about 4 months to suss out how to use this, but I've sort of sussed it now for what I want. Urban exploring. Desmond Crean, hello to all. 68 Charlie Tango 022. Hi Desmond. Well, I'm about to wrap the stream up there, to be honest with you, mate, but thanks for dropping by all the same. And I just ask once more, when I end the stream, which will be any time now, if you've got the time and you don't mind doing it, just leave a comment underneath this video. That should help me out a little bit. So until the next stream, now I'm hoping Wednesday, but I can't guarantee it, of course. I'll just end, you know, by saying thanks for dropping by, everyone. Really appreciate it. As you can imagine, you know, we've all got life, things going on in it, so I can't guarantee that I'm always going to be on, but I do my best. So for now, this is Charlie Tango 318 saying thanks, guys, stay safe and all the rest of it, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.